Hello and welcome back to our channel. If you have kept up with these videos that we've been doing, these are just a combination of a bunch of questions that we get through our social media and questions that we get in general about Airbnb. So we go through rapid fire and hopefully you learned something in these videos. If you have not already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. That helps us greatly, and let's get into it. So this has changed for me personally over time. Everyone does it differently. So you've really got to figure out what works best for you. And it also kind of depends on how high quality or low quality your property is. For us, what we like to do is we like to have a dedicated closet in every single Airbnb that we manage remotely. That closet is only accessible by the cleaners. So it either has a code entry on it or a key entry. And when we first enter the property and we get it ready to make it live, we will stock that closet full of supplies. Depending on the closet size will kind of determine whether you've got a 2-month supply, 6-month supply, or a full year's supply. But it is good to have a bulk of supplies so you're not running around last minute finding out that you need shampoo or you need more trash bags. Where we get the supplies also varies. So some people have a Costco card or a Sam's Club membership and they'll buy items in bulk there, or other people order them online through Showplace HQ or Public Goods, where it's a wholesale company and they can buy Airbnb supplies that are maybe slightly more high-end but at cost. Either are good solutions. It just depends on what the vibe of your property is. Significantly harder. Both me and my husband are 1099 and we have been 1099 since we started investing. So we have never had a W-2 job for any type of lending. And let me tell you, that is the biggest pain point that we have run into, is those hoops that you have to jump through to prove that you have consistent income. Some ways around that are put more down on your down payment of the property. You can always do a DSCR loan with 20% down, and that doesn't pay attention to your W-2. If you are not W-2 and you are 1099, you're going to want at least 2 years of income from that 1099 source to get any sort of lending if you're going the conventional route or the FHA route or anything of that sort. This varies per market. Depending on your market, what I would do is encourage you to really in-depth stalk your competition and see who's outperforming other properties and then see what amenities they offer. That likely has a very direct correlation with why they are outperforming their competitors. Here in Michigan, for example, our biggest amenity that has the largest ROI attached to it is the hot tub. But as we have cameras that face the backyard and we start watching how our guests are using the property, which may be slightly creepy, but I swear it's for the best of all the guests, is we like to see what they're using. So for us, I totally expected a ton of people to bring their boats to our property. I expected them to ice fish and I expected them to snowmobile. To my surprise, they are doing literally none of those, but every single person uses the grill, every single person uses the paddle boat, which I was shocked by, and every single person uses the hot tub. So one, if you've got a camera outside that shows your amenities, you can kind of get an idea of what people are actually using. But first and foremost, stalk those competitors that are in your area, see who's outperforming other people, and make sure that you match their amenities specifically. What I would recommend that really makes a big impact on whether you know your listing is ready to go or not is to actually stay in your property before you make it go live. There will be things that you forget. We have a master list that we offer that goes over all the furniture and supplies you could possibly need in your property that we sell over the Carwells. Even so, every property is unique and every property has its own quirks. So the best way that you are ever going to know whether your property is complete and comfortable for guests is if you stay in it yourself and use everything that you provided for your guest. Experience it yourself and that'll tell you whether it's ready or not. Yes, it's different per market again, but our Texas properties that are 1-bed, 1-bath arbitrage properties function a lot like a hotel, so we have much shorter night stays. We have a 2-night minimum on the weekends because we know those will book out, and a 1-night minimum on the rest of the weekdays. Whereas for our lake house house property in Michigan where people plan week-long vacations months in advance, we have a 7-day minimum booking when it's 90 days or more out. And then when it hits 60 days, it drops down to 5. And then when it hits 30 days, it drops down to 3. Creating a unique experience is definitely something that Airbnb is pushing more and more as we get further and further on. If the architecture of your property is not already unique, making it an immediate unique stay, like tree houses or potatoes or spaceships or whatever else, what I would say is to focus on design and amenities. Amenities specifically add an experience to your property that your property didn't have previously. Whether that be a water trampoline on a lake house, or a sauna, or a hot tub, or a mini putting green, or whatever else, all of those are interactive experiences that you're providing in addition to a place to stay. So focus on those amenities first, and that'll make your property more unique. Yes, big players are heavily watching Airbnbers. Us Airbnbers right now are mostly mom and pop shops who have 1 or 2 properties, and it's a very hyper-local thing. That does not mean that private equity and huge corporations are not very in tune with the profitability and the scalability of Airbnb. It is what it is. It's something that is inevitable. It's going to come along sooner rather than later, and what that's going to do to the market is make it way more competitive. We have always tried to maintain a hotel standard in our arbitrage properties when our hotels are our direct competitor, and so it's going to be the same exact thing. The best competitors are going to be those who are most familiar with hospitality, aka people who have been running hotels for decades and decades. So my opinion is that they are going to immediately knock it out of the park, immediately put way more into it than mom and pops are, and immediately really raise the competition level. As a smaller investor, we've got to be prepared for that and already start having our properties perform to a hotel standard, even when they are large properties that in the past haven't directly competed with hotels. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end here, we appreciate you. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll catch you next time. See you later.